I'm Shelby, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm kind of doing an intro because this week is Smutathon week, and I thought I would try my hand at making like a week-long like vlog for it. We'll see how this goes. I feel like I kind of suck at making vlogs, but I'm also kind of like, well, the more that I do it, I feel like the better that I'll get at it. So I'm gonna try it. But yeah, so Smutathon is taking place October, I have all my notes written down, October 25th through the 31st. So like the last week of October. This is put on by Riley Marie. I think that's her channel name. And I don't remember the other person. I don't know if she has like a YouTube channel or if she's like just on Instagram. I think her name's Lainey. I think that's what Riley said. But I know Riley puts this on, and they have lots of different rounds of this. I don't even know what number round this one is. But yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of do a nice little readathon, reading about smut, especially since like I'm going through a lot of stuff in my life right now, especially like my personal life. My husband and I are separating, and we are splitting like custody of my child, and he like just moved out this past weekend, and the first like couple days of this week, I'm not going to have my daughter, and it's really hard for me. I've been kind of an emotional mess here lately, so I just wanted to do something just fun, take my mind off of things, and what better way to do that than to read a ton of smut. So all the prompts, I'm going to go through the prompts and then just kind of give you a little bit, maybe some ideas for what I want to read, and then the rest of this video will just be like the vlogs that I do for it. I'm not super trying to stick to like the prompts. I'm not trying to, they have like a bingo board which I'll like put up probably over here to kind of show you like the prompts. I'm not like super like hardcore gonna try to like make a bingo or finish out the board. I'm pretty much just gonna like go through the prompts and see what I can get. I'm also still like trying to get in a bunch of like Halloween-esque type books, so I was trying to pick ones that would still kind of fit for those prompts, but then just like ones that I'm just like, I don't really care if this fits or not, but this is what I want to try to finish in this last week. Anyway, so all the prompts, like I said, I'll put up the little bingo board up here, is so read a dark romance, a reverse harem, a 2021 release, aliens romance, enemies or rivals, a monster romance, a novella, read in one setting, a paranormal, a red or purple cover, a shifter romance, taboo romance, takes place on Halloween, vampire romance, a new to you author, and a supernatural main character. So those are all the prompts, and they also have a group book, which I think is The Lady of Rooksgrove Manor. I don't know. I'm not going to read the group book because I've already read it, and I enjoyed it, but it isn't one that I want to like reread again when I've got a whole bunch of other books that I want to try to get in by the end of October. So my ideas for what I might try to read this week. I'm trying to find a lot more that are just like audiobooks, because since I have to work all week, it'll be easier for me to get a bunch done by listening to audio, because I can listen to audiobooks while I'm at work. So I want to do the Immortals After Dark series, which I've actually already started I don't know if it's the first one. It says it's like a prequel novella, like the Warlord Once Forever, something along those lines, something like that. So I already started that today, but yeah, I think a bunch of the books in this series I have on Scribd, which is an audiobook app. So I thought that one would work for like several of these. Wounded Kiss by Willow Winters. I think This is also on Scribd, so it was another audiobook that I could do, but I think this one might be like werewolves or shifters. I think I've heard her say that this is one of her paranormal books. So, and then there is Trick and then Treat by Shay Sanders. These are both novellas, and I'm pretty sure they both take place on Halloween, so this knocks off several of those. And then some other ones that I'm not 100% sure where they would fit on the bingo board, but they are just kind of like books that I'm still wanting to try to get in. And I doubt I'll be able to get to all of these. Gothicana by Rue Nix, I think is how you say that name. I know this is like a gothic romance kind of. Haunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton. I know this is like a dark romance, that it's like a stalker romance, but I've heard good things about it. I would like to try to get in, if I can, like Master of Salt and Bones by Carrie Lake, because I've heard really good things about that. And then I also thought about maybe trying to do, she has a new book coming out this week called Nightshade, which I think is just another like gothic romance, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what that one's about, but like the cover just like speaks to me. And that was coming out, I think, on the 29th of October. So this week, like during the readathon, so maybe I could get that one in. And then I've also heard really good things about Wolfgang Wilde by Juliette Cross. I don't own this one, but I do have some Audible credits that I thought about maybe spending on this book because I've heard really good things about it. And then just like if I'm just in a mood for something like quick and short, I always, my like backup smut person, like author, is Katie Robert, and I haven't read her newest taboo book. I think it's like Seducing My Guardian. I haven't read that one, so that I don't know if it fits really any of the prompts except maybe like taboo, but I would consider that a perfect read for Smutathon. And then she also has these like vampire books, like Sacrifice, I think is the first one, which I've read the two that she has out, and the third one isn't coming out until like I think next year maybe. But I kind of figured I might want to reread those because I did enjoy them and they are very, very quick. So those are my plans. We'll see how far I get. I don't know how many I'll be able to get. I doubt I will get through that whole list of books. Oh, also especially because I am in the middle of reading Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, and I'm like bound and determined to finish this book by the end of October because it's like the perfect book to read in October. And I'm like, I think I have maybe like 200 pages left of it. I'm going to try to finish it tonight. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I will finish that this week, and then I will be able to get to all the rest of the books for the Smutathon readathon. So next time I see you all, it'll probably be sometime this week with an update of how far I've gotten with things. So see you then. Hi everyone, it is Monday. I just got home from after work, and I went and stopped by Target and Walmart to pick up some stuff. So I'm sorry I didn't really film like anything while I was at those stores. One, because they were annoying me because I couldn't find what I wanted. Especially Target. Like everybody loves going to Target, and I just feel like I'm in a less populated area. Like my Target is not that large, and I can never find anything that I want at the Target store. I usually end up having to buy it online, but that's besides the point. And I was just like super busy, and it was all windy, so all my hair is just like crazy and all over the place. So yeah, so like I said, it is Monday. But yeah, I went to Target because I got these like really big like bin, I don't know what you call these, like woven like bin things to put all these like blankets in so that they stop just piling up on my living room floor, so that they can actually have a place to go. Anyway, book updates. I've got a bunch of books going on right now. So I finished Warlord Once Forever. I think that's what it's called. I'll put the picture up. By Kresley, which is like the prequel novella to the Immortals After Dark series. I really like this one. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. It's like a girl, she's like a Valkyrie or something, and she's in this like prison, and this like vampire guy like lets her go, but she's like his like bride. I don't know, there's some things that I think I just kind of missed since I was listening to it on audio. But the Valkyrie and the vampires are like mortal enemies, and it kind of sounds like the Valkyrie just are like enemies with like all different kinds of creatures. But this is very good. I don't know why I was expecting the series to not be very steamy, but this leans more towards like erotic kind of genre, I guess, which I'm not mad about. I was pleasantly surprised by that. So I finished that. That one was really good. And that works for novella, vampire. I'm thinking about the Smutathon. It would also work for the like enemies or rivals. So this one like fits a bunch of them. So I finished that, and then I just went ahead and started the next book. So the first one, I guess, in the series, which is A Hunger Like No Other, which I've heard from some other people that like the first 3 books or so you can kind of read in any order, that they kind of all take place around the same time. But I just decided to go in what Goodreads says is the book order. So I started that one also on audio. And that is, I think, kind of technically another like enemies or rivals kind of situation between this girl who is half vampire, half Valkyrie, and this guy who's known as a lichen, which, I mean, it sounds like a werewolf basically in this kind of world. And he's been like searching for his mate, and he finally finds her, and he's like, oh my gosh, she's a vampire. This is my mortal enemy. This is the worst thing ever. But then he's like, but she's my mate. So he ends up like kidnapping her kind of and taking her hostage and be like, you're not leaving me kind of thing, but doesn't tell her that she's his mate. I don't know. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I can't remember how far I've gotten in it. I feel like I'm around halfway through. So that's all that I did, like, that I got through while I was at work, since I listened to both of those on audio. Oh, I'm also in the middle, I forgot to mention in like the intro to this video, I'm also in the middle of Dark Desires by Eve Silver, I think is the last name. I'll put the picture up here because I can't quite remember. I had started this a while ago, but I keep getting distracted by like other things, and I've only been reading maybe like a chapter here and there. And this is a like gothic type romance, which I'm not sure if this will fit for any of the prompts for Smutathon, but I had already started it and I'm wanting to finish it. But that one's basically about this girl who, she's at like this is like her last resort kind of thing. She's on the streets. She goes to her sister for help, who her sister is a like notorious like madam, like runs like a I always forget what the name of those places are, where you can, women like a prostitute like house, like she runs that, and she's like no, and ends up sending her to this guy that owes her a favor, and he's a doctor, a notorious like doctor, but he's also I'm not gonna say this word right, anatomist, that sounds right. So he's basically like, this takes place in like 1800s or something. So he like studies bodies, like dead bodies, to try to study like the human form and like help advance medicine. But he's really like a very mysterious character. And then there's also all these like murders that are taking place, and she starts to think that maybe he has a hand in those murders, but then she's also starting to have like feelings for him, especially after, because she starts working there more as like a servant kind of person. But then he realizes that she can draw really well, so he then wants her to be his assistant, so that while he is like dissecting different things, that she can draw like the different parts of the anatomy for him. But yeah, I'm over halfway through this one. I think I'm about like 60% through, so it's pretty good so far. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with my books. Plans for this evening, I'm working on Empire of the Vampire. I'm like 100 pages. I'm almost done with it. I have 100 pages left. So that's my number one priority for tonight. And I should be able to finish that. And then it kind of depends on what I'm kind of feeling like. If I want to just keep listening to the audio that I'm on, or if I just want to finish that Dark Desires book. I should probably finish the Dark Desires one, because the audiobook one I can continue listening to while I'm at work tomorrow. And then there's like a bunch of other ones that I'm still wanting to get to this week. So that's my plans for now. So I will get back to you sometime else this week. Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've updated you for this vlog, because this week there's been a lot going on this week. A lot of stuff has happened, and I haven't really been able to read a ton. So today is now Thursday. I'm pretty sure last time I updated was like Monday. Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. I didn't do any like filming or anything because I didn't really read much on Tuesday. So Tuesday, after I got up and I was getting ready to go to work, but then I couldn't get my car started, so then I was having to deal with all of that. I had to get rides to work and then back home, and then I had to take my car into the shop, and I still don't have my car, so now I'm driving my mother's car because she has extra vehicles. So I was dealing with all of that, and then I'm also like, everything, like my background is probably just gonna keep changing all this week that I'm filming. Like I never sit in this chair, but currently I like have no furniture in my living room. I'm trying to like sell a bunch of my old furniture and get like some new furniture that's all like the same. So like I've always just had like hand-me-down furniture from like other people, like my parents or friends or whatever, and so I'm actually trying to get furniture that I want. So yeah, so I sold my couch. I have this armchair that I'm currently sitting in, and that's like my only piece of furniture to sit in right now, except for like I have like my kitchen table like chairs, so I could sit on those. And then I'm selling my TV stand. Somebody's coming Friday to pick that up. So Wednesday I had the day off work, so unfortunately I have to work this weekend with Halloween, which is sad. But so Wednesday is when people picked up my couch, and then I went with my mother up to IKEA, which I could have filmed at IKEA, but I totally forgot about filming because it was just me, my mother, and my daughter. So that was a lot, trying to finagle my daughter and then also trying to buy furniture. So I ended up buying a TV stand, and I'm wanting to get like a modular like couch where you can like a modular sectional type couch that has storage in the seating, because I have a like pretty small house, so I'm wanting furniture that has lots of storage in it because I don't have a lot of storage like space in my house. So I bought pieces of it that they had in stock, brought that back and then realized that I can't put it together because I'm missing like the covers for it, and it wants you to put the covers on before you put up all the pieces together. And then I was like, why didn't they tell me when I was at IKEA that I needed the covers? Like, so had to order covers. Those are coming in Saturday. My dad and stepmom are coming over in a little bit to help me put my TV stand together so that I have something to put my TV on, so that then I can move my old TV stand in a different location for the person that's picking it up tomorrow. Oh my gosh, tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, and then this weekend, once I get the covers, my dad and stepmom are going to come back over and help me try to put the pieces of the couch that I have together, and then see what more pieces I want and how big I want to make the couch. And then finally, maybe I will have most of my living room completed the way I want it, kind of. We'll see. So anyway, so that's been my week so far. It's been a lot. I'm very worn out and exhausted, and I don't get a break. So I'm also, like I said, I'm working. I went back to work today since I had yesterday off, and I have to work this weekend, and then I'm not off again until Monday. So Monday is probably going to be my first day that I'm not doing things, not trying to move things or put things together or going places like to IKEA. So like I live in Southeast Missouri, so the closest IKEA to me is in St. Louis, which is like hour and 45-minute drive from here. So it's like an all day kind of thing to go and get stuff there. So I will finally relax on Monday, and I think I'm actually gonna not do anything. Well, I can't like not do anything. Like I still have to do like I need to do like laundry at some point and some other like here and there stuff. But for the most part, I'm probably not gonna do anything. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. Now to what I've read, which is not much because I've had so much other stuff going on. I am trying to remember what I even mentioned that I was doing. I finished the Eve Silver book. It's like a gothic romance. This girl's like becomes this assistant to this like doctor person. So I finished that book. That one was pretty good. I can't remember. I think I might have given it 3 stars, something like that. I ended up not really hearing about the romance of the book. I was much more interested in, because there's also these like murders that are happening, and that's kind of lends it to being kind of gothic because everything seems to be pointing to the hero of the story, the love interest. And I knew it wasn't going to be him. So I was just like much more interested in what was going on with like the mystery of like who is killing all these women than the actual romance. So that's kind of why I gave it more like 3-ish stars. I think that's what I did. So that was that. I finished, what did I finish? Oh, this morning while I was at work, I finished the audiobook of A Hunger Like No Other, which is like the first book in the Kresley Cole, whatever, that vampire romance series. I finished that one. I think I'm going to give it like 3.5 stars, because while I did really enjoy it, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I overall enjoyed the book. It was very steamy, which much more steamier than like I said, I was expecting these books to be, which I'm not mad about. My only issue with it, so this one is about this girl who is half vampire, half Valkyrie, and her mother is a Valkyrie, and she ended up passing away right after giving birth to her. so her like Valkyrie like sisters or whatever kind of raised her. So she's been pretty sheltered all her life. She's very shy and timid. And then the hero of the story is a I can't remember what they call them, but they're basically like werewolves, like shifter wolves, like werewolves or something. And he's been like, I think he's been like imprisoned or something for like over 100 years. So he ends up escaping, and he's been like, he knew about that he's been like fated to like a fated mates kind of thing, that he knew that there was his mate out there, and he was trying to find her. And then once he finds her, he realizes that he doesn't realize at first that she's half Valkyrie, but he can tell that she's a vampire, and they're like mortal enemies. And he's like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But at the same time, he was like, but this is my mate, like, okay, this is how it is. And then he ends up like kind of like kidnapping her. And so my whole like issue, why I kind of bumped down my rating on this, is mostly the hero. I had some issues with some of the things that he did. He comes across like he's definitely meant to be like an alpha hero. Like he is the alpha of his pack. And he definitely comes across that way, but like it's like some of the things he does. So he won the whole kidnapping thing, and then he doesn't tell her that they're mates. And then he does some things that's kind of almost like forcing himself on her, and then he's not always honest with her about things. And a lot of it I just was kind of, I didn't really care for that he did it. Like it's hard to describe. Like while I was listening to it and like reading it, I was enjoying everything and didn't really have, but like in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, that's not really okay. So I had issues with that. So there's that book. Then I read a Halloween like erotic novella called Jack. I can't remember if it's got something else to the title, and I don't remember the author, but I'll put like picture up. That one, I think, and I don't even remember the rating that I give that one. My mind is just like blown. I've just got so much stuff going on this week. If I will try to put up like what I rated it, because I honestly don't remember. But this is a really, really short little, I don't think it should be counted as a novella. I think it's more of like a little short story, honestly, because it's very short. It's like maybe 40 pages, something like that. And this one, it's was the name suggested, it is an erotic little story about this girl. She is a witch, and she's a little bit a little bit of an older heroine than what you typically see. I think she's like 35 or 36. I'm getting a frog in my throat. Yeah, she's like 35, 36, and it's Halloween, and she's feeling lonely because she hasn't, been with anybody for a while. And she like casts this spell to get laid, basically. And then this demon guy shows up, and he's basically like, with the picture, like the cover of the book, he basically looks like that. Like he's just this ripped, muscly guy, except he has a jack-o'-lantern as his head, and that jack-o'-lantern is like on fire, like there's flames. So this one was very interesting, but it was also quite entertaining. And like I said, it was really short, so it was a fun ride. Like I said, it was very erotic. Most of the story is sex scenes, not a whole ton of plot. But I mean, I don't think you're really going into this like looking for plot. So, But yeah, so that was good. And it was like kind of like perfect for like Halloween. So I like that. So yeah, so those are the books that I have finished. I think I've met most of the stuff on the bingo board. I haven't really edited my last few clips and like kind of checked over the bingo board yet. I might do that like tomorrow because I'm gonna be pretty busy tonight, like putting stuff to get like furniture together. But I have also started a couple more books and I don't know if I'll be able to finish them. So I started an audiobook. I think it's called Wolfgang Wilde. I know it's by Juliette and it's the first book of a series. I started that on audio today and I haven't gotten too far. I think I'm only like a couple chapters into it. And that one is about Mateo. Oh I'm almost said Mateo. That one is about Mateo, who is a werewolf, but he thinks that he has a hex on himself because he hasn't been able to let his wolf out and change into a wolf for like 3 months, like 3 past like full moons. So he ends up going to the this witch, and they are like the local heads of the area over like supernaturals, like her family. So he goes to this witch to ask for help of trying to get this hex off of him. And that witch that he goes to, her name is Evie. But then he also finds that Evie kind of like calms down his wolf whenever he's around her. So then he wants to, he just kind of asked her if he could like spend more time with her because of the calming effect that she has on his wolf. So it's been pretty interesting so far. Like I said, I'm not too far in. I think I know I'll be able to finish that one because since I'm going to be working the next 3 days, that's like the only way that I can read while I'm at work is by audio, because I mean, when I'm at work I have to be actually working. I can't like just sit down and read like a physical kind of book. So I should be able to finish that, and then I'll see if I finish that like tomorrow or something, or over the weekend and need to start another one. I'll see where I'm at, whether I want to read the next book of this Juliette series, or if I want to go back to the Kresley Cole vampire series, because I do want to continue reading more of those books. I just needed something a little bit different. I kind of wanted to try something a little bit different. And then I very, very briefly started a book on my Kindle while I was at lunch, and I haven't gotten far. Like, I think I've only gotten maybe like a couple pages into it. Like, I've really like just started it. And it's called Cute But Psycho, and I can't remember the author, but I'll put a picture up. And I'm not, it's been interesting so far, just the few pages that I've gotten into this, and I wanted to start this one because I know one of the prompts for the bingo board is to read a reverse harem, and I don't think I haven't done that so far. So I picked this one up because it did say it was supposed to be a reverse harem, and it's supposed to be like this girl at an asylum and she falls for these other people, but I think it's also maybe a paranormal asylum. I think. I could be wrong about the paranormal aspect, but I know it takes place in an asylum and it's paranormal, or it's reverse harem. That's what I'm trying to say. So within these like first couple pages that I read, I found out that the heroine has been stalking her therapist, that she's obsessed with her therapist. So that's interesting. And then you also find out that she's like walking into her therapist's house, and like she's in the basement, and she finds out that her therapist is a serial killer. So there's that, and that doesn't like turn her off at all. she's just like very happy that he like his like if he could have had any secret, it was this, and not that he like secretly had a wife or something. So she's like messed up and definitely probably needs to see a therapist, but obviously this guy's not probably the best therapist. So this is just like a crazy kind of story. And then she's talked about, because there's these like bodies that are like dripping blood, and then she sees like she just has this fascination and like she's really wants to like taste the blood. And I don't know how I will feel like if she actually does something like that. I don't know how I will feel about that. And that's all I found out. Like, that's a lot of stuff to find out within like the first couple pages. I don't know how this is going to end up being where they're at an asylum. I don't know. And I think then I'm assuming after she gets there is when the reverse harem thing starts, because I think it's with other people at said asylum. Maybe. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. It just seems like a really kooky kind of story, dark. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and if I'm going to be even able to finish it, because I know I probably won't be able to read too much of it tonight. I might be able to get a little bit done tomorrow. We'll just see how the rest of this week goes, because like I said, I can't really read while I'm at work. I have to do audiobooks, and this readathon ends on Sunday. So that is all I have to update you with right now, if I can talk. So I'll try to get back on tomorrow. If not, I will update you again at some point. Hi everyone, it is now Monday. So the Smutathon Readathon is over. It ended yesterday on the 31st, but I've been so crazy busy, I totally forgot to update on everything. So I thought I would go ahead and come on here and update you on the last like books that I read. I'm trying to remember what I last updated you on, and then just kind of show you why I've been so busy, because like I said, I've been getting trying to kind of change my living room. I've sold some of my furniture, and then I've also gotten new furniture, and it's just been a crazy week. Anyway, so I'm going to update you on the books that I read, and then just kind of do an overall just kind of wrap up of this vlog. So here is my living room. That thing there by the door is actually a TV stand that was over here, and now I'm trying to sell it and get rid of it. And then I bought this big bookshelf thing, and then this to act as my TV stand, which my daughter already appreciates because she's already been pulling open the doors and putting toys in them and then taking toys out and whatnot. So I had to put together, my dad and stepmom came over and helped me put together those two things. And then I'm gonna change, also pardon all of the toys that are literally everywhere. I've been trying to keep it clean, but it's just not working out because, you know, I have a little kid and she likes to drag all her toys out. So this is actually the new couch that I got. This is from IKEA. All of this is from IKEA. I had two separate couches that I ended up selling. So most of this week I have this chair, and this has like been my only furniture that's been in this living room for this whole past week until yesterday. We finally put these pieces together, which is not the full couch set. I have one more piece that's gonna go with here, and then I'm kind of gonna maybe do some moving or whatnot, I don't know. So now I have a couch, which I'm pretty happy about. And it's one of those, I can show you guys. It has storage in all of the seats. So I'm probably gonna end up, I had these bins that I bought at like Target. That was what I did earlier in the week on my Target run. I got these, and I think I might take some of those blankets out and put in the couch. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And maybe just use those for like toys or something else. I don't know, we'll see. And then I got new window curtains to let more light into this room, because I had these, you can see it, these curtains, which are more of a room darkening type curtains, and I didn't like them. So anyway, okay, update time. So I think when I last updated you all, I had started Wolfgang Wilde, so I did finish that. I think I finished that like Friday or Saturday, somewhere in there. That one was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. It was very cute. It was, so it's about this wolf guy, and he has, or a werewolf, whatever, and he has like this curse placed on him, and he cannot change into a wolf. Like, he can't change into his wolf form. So he goes and seeks out this witch, and she's known as a like curse breaker. Like, she's the best witch at breaking curses or whatnot, and he seeks her help to try to break this curse. And in the meantime, they start forming, like, whenever he's around her, his wolf like calms down. He's not like constantly like badgering him, so he wants to be around her more because it has this like calming effect on him. So they start to become like friends, and then they start like, they have feelings for each other, and it was just like really cute. Like, the main character, like the guy, his wolf, his name is Alpha, and I'm assuming it's because he is an alpha wolf, which I don't know, I just thought he was just like the sweetest alpha type character that I've read in books. And it did get fairly steamy at one point, but it was fairly later in the book, so I really enjoyed this one. And then I also started and finished yesterday When She Belongs, which is a Ruby Dixon book. I read this because there's one prompt that says aliens for the Taboo Readathon, and I was just like, I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish a physical book. I needed a audiobook since I had to work all weekend. So I read that, which is the third or fourth book in the Ristoverse series of Ruby Dixon's. I had read the first few books of the series like back in January, maybe, something like that. So this just continues the series, which the two characters I don't really remember from the first few books of the series, but there are characters that show up from the Corsairs series, which I recently read because I was going through like all of Ruby Dixon's books. The Corsairs series is her pirate alien romance series, so some of the characters in that actually show up in this book. But this is the girl, she is like a human slave, and she gets out of slavery, and she's with one of these pirate groups, and I don't remember what the situation is, but they need to like drop off some stuff at Jarok, I think is his name, is like the guy, the hero of this story, and he lives like in this isolated asteroid far out, and he's kind of like almost like a junker. Like, he gets all these things and like repurposes them, and anyway, he has some issues from some sort of war in his past where he ended up, during that war, I think he like got captured and he was tortured, and he ended up losing, like, he's got like some cyborg like parts to him. Like, I think he's missing an eye and a leg and maybe an arm or something, and those are all like cyborg pieces, but his are like really old and not the best condition, so they're always giving him problem and pain. Anyway, so he's kind of a loner, and he likes his space and he likes being alone. So her ending up being there, like they have to drop her off to kind of like keep her there for some reason and like lay low kind of from whatever they're doing. And so they butt heads a lot, but they do end up forming like a romance together, because he's all like, well, how can anybody like me because I'm so ugly, like look at all these different missing parts from me. And then she's all kind of like doesn't really want to be intimate with anybody because of from her being a slave. So he's really gentle with her. It's pretty much like a pretty like typical kind of like Ruby Dixon kind of scenario, especially at least with her alien books, because like the first few that you read, they're just these women all alone, but then as farther you get into her universe, like her alien type universe, most of the women have been slaves, they've been abused, so they're a little bit more hard-hitting, I guess. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but anyway. And then I think in my last update, I had started Cute But Psycho. I unfortunately did not finish that book. I will probably end up finishing it like today or tomorrow. It just, like I said, I was so busy this weekend. It just did not happen. I was exhausted and I just couldn't end up finishing it. But it is pretty good. It is a reverse harem. It's interesting, that's for sure. And it is paranormal, about this girl, and she is a Dampier, so she is like half vampire and I'm assuming half human. And she gets placed in this asylum, and she ends up meeting she's in love and obsessed with her therapist, who ends up being a vampire, and he's also a serial killer. And then she has this relationship, or starts a relationship with this shifter guy, which then I just read something where like she assumes he's a wolf, but she doesn't actually know what he can shift into. And then he's been like experimented on at this asylum. And then this guy who is a basilisk, so his parents were like phoenixes and he is a basilisk, and he's kind of been shunned because his skin and like bodily functions, like his blood, his saliva, his semen, all of that is venomous, poisonous. I can't remember the difference between the two, but basically if anybody touches him, like skin to skin contact, they immediately die. So he covers up from head to toe, and yeah, so it's very interesting. But I will probably, if you're interested in more on that book, I will not be updating you on this video because I haven't finished it yet, but whenever I do my November mid-month wrap up, it'll be on that video and I'll talk about it there. So that's it. That's all that I read for this wrap up, or for this readathon, if I can talk. So I did want to kind of go through just like finalizing end of the video kind of thing. So I ended up not being able to finish the full bingo board. I'm pretty sure I got everything but Reverse Harem, which I was reading Cute But Psycho to get that one. And I just ended up not being able to finish it. So, but I got everything else. So I read Warlord Once Forever, which is the novella, like prequel novella to the Immortals After Dark series by Kresley. Dark Desires by Eve Silver, I finished that one. Jack, which I can't remember the author's name, but that was like the novella that I read. A Hunger Like No Other, which is the first book of the Immortals After Dark series. Wolfgang Wilde by Juliette, and then When She Belongs by Ruby Dixon. So I ended up reading 6 books for this readathon, which I think so 6 books in 7 days. Granted, 2 of those were like novella length. And then granted, I probably would have been able to finish Cupid Psycho and maybe another one had I not, at the beginning of this readathon, because it started on a Monday, I was trying to finish Empire of the Vampire. I wanted to finish that one first, which had nothing to do, it is not like a smutty book. It has nothing to do with this readathon, but I just in general wanted to finish that book. So I finished that at the beginning of this week. So had I been able to finish that before this readathon started, I think I probably could have gotten Cupid Psycho finished. And like I said, maybe like, I'm pretty sure I probably could have read like another novella or something. So I could have been like 7 books in 7 days is pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with that. And I just really in general had a really great time. Like most of these books, like all of these books in general, I really liked and I really enjoyed, and it was just a fun kind of thing to take my mind off of all the stuff that's been going on in my life. I wish I hadn't been having all of this like furniture stuff going on during this week, because I think I could have read even more. But at the same time, like I said, at the end of the day, after working, like going to work during the day and then coming home and trying to put furniture together and moving furniture and dealing with all of that stuff, and also taking care of my daughter this week, you know, laying in bed and just kind of reading like some sort of like smutty book that's just easygoing, is just a nice thing to do at the end of the day. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how this readathon went this week, and now it's going to take me like flipping forever to put this whole vlog together. But I plan on posting this a week after the readathon, so I'm usually posting things on Sundays now. So this will go up a week after the 31st, so that should be the 7th. November 7th is probably when it's going to go up. So yeah, so if you enjoyed this vlog, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And if you don't subscribe to me, make sure you start subscribing to me. Hit that subscribe button. I look forward to seeing all of you. And yeah, so I'll just see you guys in the next video.